Buongiorno a tutti and welcome at this interview of the Ark Lab talk. Today, I'm very happy to have my good friend, Mona Reaumer, right? Mona Reaumer. And Mona is speaking from Vancouver, Canada, right? I know a
Yes,
little bit.
that's correct.
I
I'm
know a little
from
bit.
Canada.
And okay, I'm speaking from from Barletta, Puglia, so we are very far, I think. So, and Mona in the Art Club is going to be the mentor of community building. And Mona, the Art Club is this program where it's going to be run here in Puglia next October, November, where we are going to unite, let's say, three aspects that usually don't speak together, which is science, and for us science is working in exponential technologies, having two labs. It is smart manufacturing and biohacking, and then we are going also to work into what we say logic, critical thinking, which we have called praxeology, which specifically the science of human action, to understand what's going on outside in the society, in the economics. And then is an important part of this program, which we have defined like metaphysics. And metaphysics for us is a kind of a kaleidoscope of experiences that are connected to the inner self. And for us, and for me, one of the very important part of this collection of workshops is the community building. Community building was this kind of experience that I already got in, we did in Exosphere, and Mona, you were also the facilitator of the community building in Exosphere. That was a very deep experience that that we decide also to to bring here in the Ark Club. And I'm very happy that you can explain us about the dynamic of the community building, and just let let us know just two words, introduce yourself just briefly, and then I would like to ask you to say something about the what is this the community building, the dynamic of this community building.
Okay. So, so I'm Mona, and I've been involved in community building since my first workshop that I went to myself back in 2004, I guess it was. And I was really struck by the power of the process because over the course of 2 days, from I went from personally from looking around the room and judging people and thinking that's an
Yeah.
idiot, fool, and
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
those
Yes.
kinds of thoughts to really coming to connect and appreciate all the individuals in the room. And so to be able to do that in a 2 day process seemed like something that could really benefit myself and others. And from that point, I kept going to the workshops. I also did training and started to facilitate the process. Um, so I did facilitation training in 2005 and started to facilitate different places in the States, Canada, then in Chile, also in Czech Republic and Germany.
Wow.
So yeah,
I mean,
so
so yeah. I mean, so this is a very is very important, that you spent a lot of the years in facilitating community building. But let you know, let us know what is this community building actually, how it works. What is the process? What is this process?
so it's an interesting process because there's a set of guidelines and we all sit in a circle. So you can have a group from 10 to 40 or 50 or even 60 people, and you sit in a circle. And the idea is you follow this set of guidelines to sort of connect with each other. And the guidelines are quite important because they give us a way to connect and communicate in a more honest and authentic, respectful way. So there are things like we pull from the Quaker move to speak. So you sit and you try to figure out, do I want to talk because I feel like talking, or is there something I really need to say? So
Yeah.
that's one of the guidelines. And we also talk about using I statements and speaking personally and specifically. And it's interesting because I think we learn to speak more generally because it's safer. And we tend to make everybody a part of our statements. So can say things like family is important to everybody.
Yeah.
Whereas there may be people who hate their families. So
Yeah.
it's much more powerful to speak from a personal position and to and that's how
Yeah.
you really get to know people,
Yes.
is they speak more personally.
Yes.
And the other side of it is because it's a reflective process, you're sitting in that circle, and sometimes it's really kind of uncomfortable and painful because you're bored or you feel anxious or whatever, but you're stuck sort of reflecting and thinking about what's
Yeah.
actually going on in your own head. So I
Yeah.
think it's an incredible learning tool, learning
Yeah.
about yourself and other people.
Yeah, I mean, community building as a, it was this dynamic that was, as you was inspired, by this psychologist,
Yes,
Scott Peck, he's an
yes,
American psychologist. He wrote a book, The Different Drum, which is
yes,
a book which inspired this kind of process. And let me say something about my personal experience with the community building and
yes,
why. And why we decided that this is going to be an important part of the program, because usually we think that we know ourselves. We think,
yes,
as you say, that we are, always, indicating the ego of someone, but never, because we think that our ego is always, less ego. We are no, we met always someone that has big ego. We said it's bigger ego than than ourselves, and
yes,
then we don't. And sometimes in this experience, you see yourself sitting with other people that you don't know, and
yeah,
this circle is with with this basic rule, very easy rule, that you speak only with your I statement, and you speak also when you're moved to speak, and then you starting to basically a journey in the unknown, because this dynamic, which can start, it's even very easily, it can start very gentle, then became something strong and very powerful. I don't
mm,
want to, we are not going to tell too much about this, because we are going to discover it in the program, during the program. But what is incredible is happened to me. I've done many of those community during all the program that I did with Exosphere, was that first you get an incredible, I say, an incredible opportunity to understand yourself.
yes,
And then, as a consequence, you get an incredible still opportunity to know the others. And after this experience, it's like that you have made an incredible journey with the participants, with that you became such strong friend with each one of them, like when you spend I don't know, 1 month making a journey in Tibet, and
yeah,
then you come back, you have made such incredible connection, because you shared an incredible experience with your participant, with your friends. So the beauty of a community, that in this very strong and deep experience, you understand yourself, you discover yourself, and also you became such connected with the people with whom you share such experience, that is beautiful. I mean, I have
yeah,
done almost, I know many of those. Just to tell you, I've done a lot of this community during Exosphere. I have done at least, I think, community building with almost 300 students, and I still today have such connection with each one of them, just especially for the community building, that I have found 300 brothers, and I can go everywhere in the world to each one of them, and they will open the door of their house, like even my friends from Mia that when I was born with, they will not open the door like these people are going to open to me just because we did such experience with them.
Yes.
And many of them told me also that the most deep, remember of the exosphere of the experience that it was just community building. This is why it was very important for us to have the community building also in the Ark Club. And Mona, you were working with community building since, I mean, 20, it's a lot of years. So we are very happy that we are going to get also your experience in facilitating this community, because also facilitating such community is not, is a very specific, job. So, you need to know how to basically lead the community, because, we are not going to explain the states, the various phases of the community, but you need to know what you're going to do.
Yes.
So,
I think
yeah.
Antonio, it's important too to say that that in the actual circles, sometimes there's conflict, and it's not about just being nice. I mean,
Yeah.
we want to be respectful and stuff, but often it's through conflict and through disagreement that we get to know people as well, and learn about differences and accept differences. So I want to be clear that it's not just this, everybody is
No,
lovey-dovey.
yeah, this is a very important. This is
Yeah.
an hard job. I'm letting you. Last Friday, I just came from an ayahuasca ceremony here in Italy, because the ayahuasca ceremony, we are going also to talk about ayahuasca ceremonies. Is a very
Yeah.
strong ceremony that you made for this kind of plant that is, came from the Amazon. But there is an organization in Europe, it's a very good organization, that are making this ceremony also in many countries in Europe, which is
Yeah.
legal. And in such ceremony last week, I got a very deep experience about how we don't know our ego, I mean, and how we see in the others what we don't want to see about ourselves.
Yeah.
And which means that anytime, because they say that, that everyone is a mirror of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
which means that you reflect your ego to each one that you relate with. And if I hate you, and if I judge you, I don't stand you. You have such big ego. I don't stand. You have such bad character. I hate you.
Yeah.
You are hating yourself.
Yes.
So in this ceremony, we also did a kind of community building, which was beautiful, because after, before and after the ceremony, we did this kind of community building, and it was beautiful to see how the insights that you got from the ceremony, it was shared like a community building. And
Yeah.
then I realized how we could say that is exactly related to what you said. I could say that how during the community building, the most hard time, the most difficult, situation that
Yes.
you live there, are going to be the most powerful situation. So
Yes.
I'm saying with you, I'm saying with you that yes, we even welcome hard time during
Yes.
community building, because it's only there when we are going to know about ourselves.
Yeah.
And yes, it's it's very important that you made such, such specification that
Yeah,
community building is not, because
everybody
I mean,
being nice.
yes,
Yeah,
because there are different phases that you go in community. So we are going to leave all those phases, and
yeah,
there is chaos that is the most difficult, phases that then eventually you overcome, and then you have this wonderful feeling of connection that is the, let's say, the end of the
yeah,
community building. And it's not easy to reach,
yeah,
but is beautiful, because then you can really create this incredible brotherhood, brotherhood and connection with the students, with the participant. We can name the students participants that are going to run this community building. So I mean, that's it, Mona. I was very willing to have an interview with you because I wanted to talk a little bit about this important process of the program. Do you want to say something more?
um, just that I'm really looking forward to it, and it's it's an incredible gift in my life, and I still not only facilitate community building, but I go and participate in groups as well, because I think there's an ongoing learning process as we go through life, and it's always beneficial. So I
Yes.
believe it quite strongly for myself, not just as
Yeah,
bringing
exactly.
it to others, but it's also for myself. Yeah,
Okay. Yes, this is also important because to say that, any community is a very wonderful experience that you make, especially for yourself, and then
yeah,
for as a consequence it became also a wonderful experience for the others.
yes.
So thank you, Mona.
Okay,
We are looking forward, to have you here in the program in next October. It's going to be a wonderful place, a wonderful time, wonderful food, wonderful people. So, Puglia is a wonderful region. So we are going to have a very good time in this wonderful place. So
yes.
thank you very much, Mona. And
Thank you.
maybe one day we'll got another interview because it's also maybe we will like Memo to go in some specific part of the program, of the
Sure,
community. Why not? And
sure.
so, ciao ciao from Barletta, and see you soon.
Okay, Antonio, thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Mona. Bye.
Bye.